Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hey, Sony's with me. Yay! Such a chore this is, Sony. Hey, but we are here for a very special celebration. Embody is one.
Yay!
And the other Embody is over. Oh, here it is.
Oh, it is.
One I made earlier.
Yes, that's the one.
This is one today.
Yes.
Yay! Happy birthday, Embody.
Yes, happy birthday. I can't believe it.
What a year, hey?
I know.
Oh my
Such a journey.
goodness. We want to keep looking at each other, but we want to keep looking at you as well. So we're going to have to go against our instincts and keep chatting. So today is the launch as well of the soft cover version of Embody. So it's a nice 6x9. As you can see, glossy edition. It's available online
You can see the
at
difference.
MMH Press. Yeah, even sized differently.
Yeah. There you go.
Yours is bigger than mine.
It is.
And the reason why it's a black and white version, not color like the special edition hardcover, because we want to make it affordable trade edition to get out there and circulate into bookstores across Australia. With that is happening in time for Christmas. All three of these books are launching into Australian bookstores for Christmas, which is exciting. Isn't that exciting? So expect more celebrations to come. But for today, we are talking all things Embody. So just to recap, everyone, Sony, this is the book one that you chose out of many poems that you wrote at a different time of your life. Do you want to share with everyone a bit about that?
Absolutely. Yes, this is going back to the pandemic. Started getting very inspired writing. I have a daily habit of writing, and I started actually realizing that a lot of it was poetry, and just started collecting poems. And I think once I opened up myself to kind of being a poet, which I'd never thought I would be, I was a novelist really, and all of this poems started accumulating. And I think when you and I got in touch, I had something like 170 poems that had accumulated starting March 2020 till the time we connected, which was November of 2020.
Wow.
And that's how all of these beautiful poems came.
These are not small books. Now there's three in the series. You've got Embody, Embrace, and Embolden. They're phenomenal. Can you talk to us about the journey? Because obviously Embody's book one. So what does that represent?
So a lot of what was happening with the poetry was a very personal take on me, my life, coming to terms with all of that I was going through. And it was in the lockdown of COVID that I had that space to do it, and I embraced it. I sort of, was by myself for a vast period of that time at the beginning, especially afterwards I moved in with my parents. But for the first 4 months, I just started having a lot of emotions come up, a lot of very personal experiences that I expressed through the poetry. And with Embody in particular, it was really opening up to emotion, and I realized that it was coming through my actual physical body. And without realizing it at the time, because I just was expressing through poetry, it really was moving through me in a way, kind of following the same sections as are in the book through the chakras of the body. So sort of kind of like moving up from a space of trying to find stability and safety to, moving up to a higher consciousness. So that's how this book came about.
I love it. The conversations we have around poetry are phenomenal. Yesterday, I believe we were talking about, how the poetry called to be written and then how it called to be published. So, it's all stages, all different. You didn't write poetry with the intention of publishing it. It was very much, you were in isolation. It was a way of releasing what and probably processing what you were going through. So can you talk to that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. I mean, the writing, when I started it, I didn't really know what I was going to do with it. I had no intention with it other than just allowing another form of expression. And really, as you said, processing. I tend to not always understand what I'm going through until I put it in writing. And it came out through the poetry. And what's wonderful is that in a conversation where we were just sharing experiences, you know, I had mentioned to you, hey, I have this stack of poems, and I don't know what to do with it.
I do. And then these were born. But you had to go through them, put them into, you know, Embody was at first birth. And then, you know, Embrace came, and then Embolden. They just called, didn't they, individually? I just love that you honored the journey, and watching it progress was just a phenomenal.
Yes. Well, and you were the one who came up with the title of Embody. I remember talking to you about it, and you just said embody is the word that comes to mind. And I remember kind of sitting back being like, wow, that feels really accurate. And it's because at the time that I was writing them, I didn't even realize I was going through the chakras, or that I was, you know, embodying what I was feeling. It was just a kind of very organic way that it all came together. And the moment you said embody, when I started collating the poems and seeing what themes and things were coming up, I thought, this is absolutely perfect. So it was just this magical moment that came together.
Yeah. That's why we're making magic happen fast.
Yes,
it came to me for you, so it was not mine at all. Well, that's the thing, and you go through the chakras in Embody, and it is about that balance. And at a time when everything was up in the air and feeling very imbalanced, to be able to pull that out, it's definitely a positive out of a negative, wasn't it?
It is, and I think, you know, a lot of people had very many different takeaways from the lockdown. For me, it was really a period of self-development. I really immersed myself in it, and you know, for the poetry is in how I write. I always say the poetry is my personal journey, and the novel is the fictional journey. You know, I can create whatever it is that I want into the characters or the situations, but the novels are very deeply reflective of my own journey.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's Hassan says here, and we agree with you, Hassan. Hassan says that poets should be celebrated more. Well done.
Yes.
Kudos to the poets, and we have some amazing poets here at MMH Press, and Sony is, you know, is one of our amazing poets who is celebrated so much because, you know, whenever we were at the castle recently, and it was profound for you, wasn't it, how much poetry was celebrated in that environment and how it helped awaken some people. It's very accessible. It's not as if you're asking someone to sit down and read a novel, because that takes very much, you know, it takes time, and it takes a big commitment from someone to sit down and read a novel from start to finish. But a poem, you capture the essence of it. You either connect with it or you don't. But when a poem resonates with you, it shifts something within you, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And I think one of the beauties about poetry is that you can just literally pick one up. It can be a 2-minute read, maybe even less than a 2-minute read, a 1-minute read, and just find some meaning, connection, significance. And yeah, it does not take very much a commitment. And what I think is beautiful is, like, you can just open to any page if you wanted to and see what it calls you. Like this one, I just opened to.
Are you going to read it for us? She's going to read it for us.
I can. There we go. Inner light. The light we hold within co-creates with the universe to make magic happen, manifest our dreams, state of goodness, health, love, relationships of all kind, empowering us to be ourselves, free creative expression. It is who we are, soul essence of all there is.
See, told you. And that is the thing with your poetry books. Not all, but with your poetry books, whenever you open it up, it's kind of like a card deck as well. You go to the one that you gravitate towards, and there's some of the message in it for that day. And Sony doesn't write little short poetry books. They're like 200 odd pages each. So it's like 700 pages in the whole collection of these and it is the journey. You can see the transition through the books of the journey. So the body is very much embodying. The embolden is, you know, going to the next stage, and then, or the embrace, and then the embolden is, you know, it's kind of, we have arrived and the embolden is in there. It's just beautiful. but you're also a novelist. And when I met you, you're a novelist back in, dare I say,
2019
at our Crum Castle retreat. And your novel is launching. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I have the novel coming up, going to be released actually September 27th. So in just one short week, it will be out in the world.
6 days. 6 days to be precise. I cannot wait. Come on, Amazon.
Yes, and the book is called Lonely Dove. It is the book that, interestingly enough, at Crum Castle, you put together a mock copy of it, and that was the first time I actually was able to hold something tangible in my hand, and that's because at the retreat you had this authors kind of tea event where we all sort of got up on a high tea event, yes. And we all got up and said a few words on a stage, and that in fact was really significant also because it was the first time that I openly talked about my writing journey and having a novel or working on a novel. And it still needed a lot of work, clearly, because it's taken 3 years for it to get
It's a journey again.
But yeah, it all started there when we first met. So that's actually quite amazing that, we met connecting on a novel in a way, but then our journey took us through this poetry, and a lot of it is due to COVID. I mean, I don't know. I can't say really if COVID hadn't happened, would I be writing poetry? I have no idea. But because COVID had happened, I was writing poetry.
Well, I'm glad. Well, I'm not glad COVID happened. I'm glad that you chose poetry. It's really gifted to the world, and that's the thing. But look at the journey from 2019 to 2022. Standing on that stage, you weren't confident, but you still showed up, and you done an amazing job. Where as much as within you, whereas now you show up so confidently. It's just so beautiful to see. And I remember our fun video at Crum Castle this year.
Yeah,
which was
that's true.
Where we were celebrating
Embolden.
Embolden launch, the hardcover launch, and it's just so fun. And to go on this journey together, it's just phenomenal. And not only have you got 3. The Soul Seeker collection. We call this the Soul Seeker collection. 3 amazing collections, a novel, and you're also conjuring up some other things that we'll just keep it, not telling anybody yet. But you're also part of Serenity Press as one of my shareholders, and we are on the journey of that together.
I know. It's just amazing how so many things have come together without even having the expectation or, just the awareness that it was going to happen. But it's, I think all about being open and being receptive and taking the opportunity when you see it.
Yeah. Not standing in that castle in 2019, did you think that you would own a part of a publishing house?
Yes.
You never know.
I didn't know that I'd be a poet. I didn't know that 3 years later I would be published. I would be a publisher.
I love
all these things that just have come together in such a magical way.
And we have had so much fun doing it, haven't we? And that's the thing, is that honor the journey, have fun doing it, and just show up and put yourself out there, and you never know where it's going to bring you, isn't it, Sunny?
Absolutely. And I think that's part of the magic of just being open and finding joy in things that, it's so easy to get bogged down and scared and think, oh, what if, or what are people going to think, or I'm not ready, or it's not perfect. But sometimes you've just got to take that plunge and move forward, and what comes really is surprising.
Yeah. And it's not scary when isn't it? Not?
Yeah.
We just go with it. And Hassan says, what a great journey of courage. And it does take courage, but when there's no fear in it, and that's the thing. So we will see you in Melbourne soon, Hassan. We cannot wait. But to everybody else, get to mmhpress.com and come and grab your copy of the Embody today. You've got both versions.
That one.
You can choose soft cover or hardcover. Yes. What you want.
They're both beautiful.
They're both beautiful. They are. Enjoy. Come and tell us what you think, and we cannot wait to hear from you. Where can everyone find you, Soni?
The best way is on my website, soneesingh.com. So it's SONEESINGH.com.
And you've won a few awards on there.
I have, and this embodies the most awarded book that I have.
Yeah.
I've accumulated a few, even some distinguished honors. So yes, it's been a blessing.
Yes, see? It all started a year ago. What difference a year makes.
Yes, incredible.
Thank you to everyone for joining us, for watching, and get over to mmhpress.com and sonysing.com and check it all out. Bye, guys.
Bye.